Welcome children, class 7. Today we are going to start the next chapter, that is spreadsheets and introduction. And children, in this chapter basically we are going to study about Microsoft Excel. So students, till now we have discussed and learned two important applications of Microsoft Office, and they are Microsoft Word and Microsoft PowerPoint. So while the former helps in creating and editing the documents, the latter helps in making the effective and appealing presentations. So to write any documents, we used the Microsoft Word, and for making any presentation, we were using the Microsoft PowerPoint. But in this chapter, you will be introduced with another important application of Microsoft Office, that is Microsoft Excel. Microsoft Excel is one of the most popular spreadsheet software used widely to perform mathematical calculations. So children, this Microsoft Excel we use to do some calculations which may be simple or complex. And the spreadsheet is an interactive computer application for organizing, analyzing, and storing data in a tabular forms, that is in the form of rows and in the form of column of grids. So, children, Microsoft Excel provides inbuilt features and tools such as formulas, functions, and data analysis tools that makes easier to work with large amount of data. Now children, we come to the features of MS Excel, and the features are that formulas are basically children uh, used to make simple and mathematical calculations. So formulas are mainly used for performing simple and complex mathematical calculation, and functions are built in formula, so they are ready made formula which are there in Excel, and they are used for calculating percentage, interest, average, sum, etc. Then the second point is children, formatting features, and it improves the appearance of the data. The data is automatically recalculated in the entire worksheet if any changes are made in the single cell. So children, two new words have come here, worksheet and cell, which we are going to just study. And data can be searched quickly and if required replaced instantly. And quick data entry can be done in a large series of cells by using the autofill option. So these are some features. Another feature is data can be viewed in graphical form such as charts, which helps to understand, analyze, and compare data in an effective manner. So these features have made Microsoft Excel the first choice for professional to quickly perform lengthy accounting and financial tasks that helps in taking prompt action. Now children, how can we start Microsoft Excel? The way is that we go to the start button, we click it, and then we go to the all program button, and then we click Microsoft Office, and in Microsoft Office we have the Microsoft Excel along with Microsoft PowerPoint, Microsoft Word, etc. And children, when we open this software, then a screen which is here comes on the screen, and it is a screen, and in its area, text area, it is in the form of a grid, that is it is in a form of small cells of rows and columns, which you can see here in this part children. So this is the this is, you can see the MS Excel which is present over there, which is there. So this is that grid children we are talking about. And next is children, workbook and worksheet. So when we talk about workbook and worksheet, whenever the Excel window that appears on the screen is called a workbook. So the first screen which comes on the computer screen, we call it as a workbook. So children, now you can say that the Excel window that appears on the screen is called workbook. It is assigned a temporary name as book 1. So when we open the worksheet, the workbook gets open, and its temporary name is book 1, which we can change later. And workbook is like a notebook which you have, which consists of a number of pages called worksheets. So a single workbook contains worksheets, and a worksheet is a grid like area made up of rows and columns where you can enter and work with data. By default, an Excel workbook displays three worksheets at the bottom with the names Sheet 1, Sheet 2, and Sheet 3. We can add any number of worksheets in a workbook according to the limits of the memory available on a computer. So, children, we have studied that whenever we open a Microsoft Excel, a workbook gets opened with its first sheet. So a workbook is like a notebook which contains three sheets, sheet 1, sheet 2, and sheet 3, and the first sheet gets opened. And children, in a worksheet, so it says that a worksheet contains 10 lakhs 48,576 rows. So, and it contains 16,384 columns. So you can imagine, children, a worksheet is a very, very big sheet which can hold a large amount of data. And columns are represented by alphabets on the top and rows by numbers on the left side of the worksheet. So children, here is a view of a work spreadsheet or a sheet of a workbook. So you can say, if we can just go through all these, so we have certain so we have a file tab, children, over here. A file tab, you can see it will contain the name of this workbook. Then we have quick access tool. Then we have the title bar, which tells us the title of the sheet we are talking about, where it tells it that we are working on Microsoft Excel. Then we have the ribbon bar over there. Then we have the formula bar. This formula bar, children, is very important because whatever formulas, whatever data you enter in a cell, that gets displayed on this formula bar. Then we have a group. Then we have tabs which are there, which are present in other softwares also. Then we have the scroll bar to move this sheet up and down. Then we have the tab scrolling buttons, and this tab scrolling button can shift us from sheet 1 to sheet 2 to sheet 3, etc. And then we have the status bar. Status bar is going to tell us which sheet we are working on. Then we have the row heading. Now children, row heading are in numbers form. So we have row number from 1 to 10 lakhs 48,576. And then children, we have the active cell. An active cell is that cell, children, which is highlighted. And then we have the name box. The highlighted cell's address, which we are going to just study, will be highlighted in the name box. So children, this is the structure of our worksheet, and you can just go through it. Now we come to the components of the worksheet. So when we are talking about the component, the first component we talk of a worksheet is the cell, children. So we say that a cell is an intersection of columns and a row in a worksheet. So each cell is identified by the combination of its column letter and row number. So children, column letters, you can see where column heading is given, it is A, B, C, D, and so on. So column headings are given like that, and row numbers are given on the left hand side from number 1 to 10 lakhs 48,576. So children, the cell is an intersection of column and a row in a worksheet. Each cell is identified by the combination of its column letter and row number. For example, we say A is the column and 1. If we say A1, which is highlighted over here with the yellow color, and A is the column over here and 1 is the row number. So the address of this cell will be called as A1, and this intersection of row and column with the column letter and row number is known as the cell address. For example, A5 refers to the cell at the intersection of column A and row 5. A cell is used to store data such as text. Any text data can be entered, numbers and formulas, functions, etc. So you can enter all this data in a cell. A cell can contain up to 32,767 characters. So this is the range of a cell. Now children, we come to the active cell. Now there are so many cells on a worksheet, but when you click on a cell, a thick black border differentiates it from the rest of the cells. This highlighted box is called a cell pointer. It indicates that the current cell is active and data can be entered only in the active cell. Now children, so active cell is that cell which we have highlighted it, and now whatever data we want to enter will get stored in this cell only. Then we come to the range. A range is a group of contiguous cells which form a shape of a rectangle. Children, you can even select multiple cells together, and that will be called as a range of cells. And it can be children as small as a single cell, or as big, it can be as small as a single cell or as big as an entire worksheet. So you can specify children a range by writing the starting cell address following by the ending cell address, both separated by a colon. For example, if you see here children, C1 colon C10 indicate that a range starting from cell C1 and ending in cell C10. So you can select any range of cell accordingly. Now children, we come to the next point, that is name box. As we have discussed, as this figure is telling us, name box is just located above the column heading where A, B, C, D are written on the left side of the window. This area helps the location of the cell pointer. So whatever cell you select children, that cell's address comes in this name box. Now we come to the column heading or the formula bar. The formula bar is located to the right of the name box, and this bar shows the data and formulas that you enter in an active cell. So whatever data you enter, or if you enter a formula, that will be displayed in this formula bar. Now children, we come to the column heading. Now alphabets across the top border of each worksheet are called column headings. These headings identify columns with letter A to Z, and after Z children, the naming criteria is that it is A B, A C, A D to A Z. Then it is B A B B B C to and up to XFD, for a total of 16,384 columns. So children, all these column headings are being given a name from A to XFD. So that makes a total of 16,384 columns. Now children, we come to row headings. The row headings are the numbers marked from 1 to 10,48,576 along the left border of the worksheet to represent the rows. So the total number of cells will have, we can multiply total columns into total rows. So that is the total number of cells which we have on one single sheet in a workbook. Now children, we come to the status bar. The status bar is located at the bottom of the Excel window. It gives us information about the current selection. It includes the name of the currently selected command or current activity. It also displays warning messages. So children, this status bar is present, which is giving us all these information. Now the next topic is children, how we can move around around the worksheet. So to input data in a worksheet, we have to move the cell pointer from one cell to another with the help of various shortcut keys defined in the given table. So first command is children, the right arrow key will move one column to the right. Wherever the pointer is, it will move one column to the right, and the left or arrow key will move one column to the left. The up arrow key will move one row up and the down arrow key will move one row down. Now page up children, page up, if you press the page up key, it moves the active highlight to the active cell highlight to the first row of the spreadsheet and can also be used as an alternate to scroll up the worksheet. So we can move up and down by page up, and page down key moves the active cell highlight to the next sheet and also can be used as an alternate to scroll down the worksheet. Then control home children, this combination of keys moves the cell pointer to the first cell of the topmost row, that is the cell with the address A1, and control end moves the cell pointer to the last used cell on the worksheet, not the last cell of the worksheet but the last used cell of the worksheet. So this is how children we can move around in a sheet of a workbook. Now children, we come to entering of data. So how can we enter data in a worksheet, that we are going to study in it. So we come to this point children. Follow the given steps to enter data in a worksheet as shown in figure 5.3. So this figure is given here children, and some data is being entered here. So we can see how data can be entered. First of all, we open a new workbook. By default sheet 1 is active, is the active worksheet. Click on cell D1. Now you can see children, D1, A, B, C, D. D1 cell we have selected, and we type here the heading of this worksheet, that is weekly expenses, and we press enter. Now select the cell range where you entered the text. Click on the merge and center button in the alignment group of the home tab. That means you have to first go to the home tab, then the alignment group button, and then here you press the merge and center button. The selected cell which will be merged and the text will be centered. So this is how you can write the headings of your worksheet. And then children, after that we click on cell A2. You can see cell A2 where items are written. So click on cell 2 and type items, press the right arrow key, that will be B2, and click Tuesday, then right arrow key will take you to C2 and we can type Wednesday and so on. We enter the rest of the data in all the cells as shown in the figure 5.3. Then children, we move on to cell A3 by clicking on cell A3. A3 children, you can see A3 is where e-tables are written. So A3 we type e-tables and press enter. The cell pointer shifts to A4. We type cold drink and press the down arrow key and move to A5 where we can type milk, and similarly we can type transport, stationery, and all the other headings which are present over there, subheadings which are present over there, and this data is called the text data which we are entering. Now children, in the same way we can go to the other cell, that is to cell B3, then C3, then D3, and we can enter all these values which are there. So data can be entered in this way in the sheet. Now children, we come to the types of data which are available in a worksheet or in Excel. So three types of data can be entered in Microsoft Excel worksheet, which are as follows. You can enter numbers, you can enter text data, and you can enter formulae. So children, numbers are values that consist of numerals from 0 to 9, and you can even enter characters like plus sign, minus sign, exclamation sign, at sign, dollar sign, percentage, exponent, and etc. They can be used in calculations also. So in addition to actual numbers, Excel also stores date and time as numbers. By default, numbers are right aligned in the sign. So whatever number you enter in a cell, it will be shifted towards the right. So that is called the right align. Then the next type of data we can enter is the text data. So the text data can contain alphabets, numbers, spaces, and special characters. The text data is not used in calculations, and by default the text data is left aligned in a cell. So most often children, text entries are used for worksheet headings, names, and for identifying columns of data. And the next data children we have is the formulae. The formula is a mathematical equation involving numbers, values, operators, and cell addresses to perform calculations on worksheet. So formula can range from basic mathematical operations to complex calculations. And formula children begins with an equal to sign. So whenever we write a formula in a cell, we started with the equals sign. So children, this will be the first video of this chapter, and we are going to continue it in 3-4 sessions so that we can follow. So just go through this video and please ask your problems once we finish this. Thank you.